Welcome to the finale. I finally have it recorded.
Woohoo. When did you actually record the footage for this?
3 days ago.
Okay.
2 days ago, actually.
So it'll be like 9 days for the viewer.
Yeah. I recorded the rest of the playthrough like a year ago.
Whoa. Fucking borders. Why does this scene have borders on it?
I don't play the last story enough to notice. So I don't know if all the cutscenes are going to be like that. Couldn't tell you.
It's so weird.
Damn, this is quiet. There we go.
We never get to see like scenes like this in many Sonic games where Eggman's like kind of defeated and like ranting to himself about it.
Yeah, we got Generations probably the best one.
Generations has it. There's a little scene at the end of Unleashed that a lot of people don't like, but I'm alright with it.
What's wrong with it? He's just yelling at the beta Orbot.
Because like Eggman in Unleashed is like taken pretty seriously, and then at the end he's like a bumbling idiot, which I kind of get it, but like at the same time it's Eggman, so like he's a bit of a whack job. So I don't really get the complaints personally, but people do complain about it.
I mean, it's in line with his previous character up to that point, so I've never really minded it too much.
Yeah. Do you know, this is completely random, but do you know much about like the story of Sonic Battle?
Other than like the base plot of them finding Emerald and trying to figure out what he is, and they just do that by fighting everybody. Not too much, because I never actually beat the game when I was younger. I just played it on an emulator for a bit. Yeah,
well, you know how we were like, why the hell is fucking Emerald there in the preview animation for the Shadow Generations?
Oh yeah, he was created by Gerald.
He was not created by Gerald. He was an ancient robot from like thousands and thousands of years ago that Gerald Robotnik discovered. But we learned in Shadow's story in Sonic Battle that the Gizoid went on a rampage on the Ark while Gerald was studying it.
So that's why everybody feels so vindicated by.
Yeah, that's why he's
awesome.
in the fucking thing. And we were talking about this like so much off camera, like why the hell is fucking Emerald there? This makes no sense. And we kind of came up with our own explanation for it. But now I know, and I'm like, oh shit, that's actually really fucking cool.
Back to part 12 of I don't know where I'm going.
Oh, god damn it. Sonic Adventure.
This is the adventure.
Yeah. This is truly true to Sonic the Hedgehog as a character. He just roams around, does whatever, but really in his head he just doesn't know where the fuck he's going. He just doesn't like to admit it.
Okay, this was me being dumb, but to be fair, after this cutscene, where you have to go is a bit more egregious. Because it does not indicate anywhere.
Well, I mean, the cutscene with Knuckles just now kind of shows you.
I'm talking about the one after this. This one's not. This one's on me. This one is 100% on me. But after this, there is no indication on where you're supposed to go, and there's no hint markers.
No, there isn't. At the very start of this session, we saw the crash tornado at Big's house with the Chaos Emerald.
You think I remember that?
Well, you're saying there's no indication. There is. You're just stupid.
I need an indication at the end of the cutscene.
You're just stupid. They say
I am, and I need to be coddled more.
Like, we need to find that last emerald. It was in my tornado, but you know, like that kind of thing.
Anyways, this is what transitions are for. But hey, this part's short enough. Maybe I could have left in a bit.
That's like the only time Sonic does that animation with the finger waggle.
Doesn't do it in any victory pose?
No, his victory pose is like him doing like his like throwing his hands around, and then he ends in like a thumbs up pose. We're back here again. This time you're not fucking around walking like you were last time.
That was funny.
I always really liked, like, this was something as a kid that I found really odd. Because, like, I noticed the, like, difference in quality of the, like, Echidna Tribe models compared to, like, the updated SADX models. And, yeah, they're just the exact models from the Dreamcast version. They didn't even change the textures on them.
Oh, I just assumed they were not important, so they weren't made well.
Well, that's also true. Because,
like, all the games I had played at that point were like that.
That is also true, but, like, on the Dreamcast version, they're at least a little more in line with, like, Knuckles' model. So it's not that big a difference on the Dreamcast version. The big difference is that their face isn't animated at all.
Yeah.
But
I think this cutscene is the height of why this story seems like it works on paper, and it was just executed terribly.
This is why I really would love a remake of this game where they get to, they get to have, you know, fully animated cutscenes like all the modern games do with, you know, good, like maybe a slight rewrite to make things make a little more sense. In the English version, of course.
Please change the line, the servers are the 7 chaos. It sounds so dumb and contrived.
It is slightly different in the Japanese. I'm not sure what the phrase is in Japanese, though.
Translators in the comments, get on that.
No, don't translate this to Japanese. Just look up the actual Japanese translation of this.
But translate this to Japanese, I'm curious.
There is that channel that does all...
And then translate it back.
There is that channel that does all the, like, actual proper translations for all the Japanese versions of these games and uploads all the cutscenes with the proper translations. And you learn a lot about, you know, the real stories when all you've ever played is the English versions. you know, because, like, these fucking localizations have been horrible for Sonic for so long. Pretty much.
Would the first good one pretty much just be like Unleashed?
Yeah.
Maybe Heroes?
Yeah, Heroes
is hard to count because there's just not much there. I guess also Secret Rings?
Heroes does lose a little bit of points because a lot of the dialogue in that game is in the Japanese version is very, like, true to the individual characters they are. But you can't really get that, like, across.
Is it not in English?
No, you can't. I'm saying you can't really get these specific things across in English because it's, like, specific Japanese linguistics that each of the characters use.
Oh, well, you just make them act like they did in previous games, which I think they did pretty well.
Yeah,
other than maybe Tails.
Yeah, like it's mostly fine in Heroes.
But I'll just blame Tails to a different voice actor.
It's mostly fine in Heroes. You just get, like, little things like in Japanese, all the characters use, like, English to say level up, except for Espio, who says it in Japanese because, you know, he's a cool ninja guy, and that makes sense.
So absolutely nothing I'll lose sleep over. You know, it's funny you bring this up. So right now the show Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian is airing.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need to care about the show. But in episode 2, there's this now infamous moment where a little sister character appears and says, "A good morning, my sweet, my dear brother," while sitting on top of her brother on a bed, you know. Anime stuff. Okay, whatever. But then the English dub came out, and because she says that line in English in the Japanese version, instead in English she says, "Ohio, my dear Oni-chan."
Uh-huh.
So they changed it to Japanese. I just thought that was clever. Now, out of context, that scene's really bad. It's a fun show, if you can handle that stuff. Why are there so many sewer gates on the street?
And how did nobody fucking die?
Yeah, nobody dies.
Literally, that shot, now
like
there's no people on the streets.
I shit on the FMVs in this game a lot. This is the one I won't shit on. This is cool. I like this. They did good. Everything else sucks, and it's very lackluster.
I don't see...
It makes me wonder why it's an FMV.
I don't see how you could call the opening to this game bad, like you did at the start of this playthrough. You're boring. It's just boring. Fuck you.
Hero spoiled me. What can I say?
The Hero's opening is like... It's just like a collection of scenes that exist in the game, plus a few extra...
Yeah, and the CG just all around looks better.
It looks like minorly better than this game. The CG didn't start looking...
It looks significantly better.
The CG did not start looking great until Shadow.
Also, I love the transition between CG chaos and in-game chaos.
Yeah.
The only other time it's this bad is going from perfect Dark Gaia to in-game Dark Gaia.
It's yet more reasons why I want to see Sonic Adventure remade. Because, like, look at this.
It's okay. At least we got Sonic Generations.
Look at this fucking shit. Perfect Chaos is, like, just sitting there clipping through all the buildings. And then Sonic is just on a little pathway right in front of him. Why is Chaos not fucking killing him? And like, there's so many things that, like, the presentation of this game just falls short on. I love this game so much, but I cannot defend the cutscenes.
I don't know. This is pretty funny.
I love Sonic's line read there. I love Sonic's line read there in English as well. He's like, "I've had enough." Sounds so stupid. I've had enough. I'm Sonic. Hey.
And the big reveal. Who saw that coming?
Do you think in, like, the distant future, if Knuckles has any descendants somehow, he appears to them as a red orb?
Ask Ken Penders. You just put out the Lara Sue Chronicles.
Ew.
I gotta buy that at some point. I need it.
No, you fucking don't. You're the problem with society. You don't need that shit. Oh, you can see the fucking RGB values of the pixels on that texture.
It is so weird that this game doesn't have an emerald collecting stage, because literally every game after this would have one.
I would love, like, a Sonic Adventure End of the World type thing. I think that would be sick.
Yeah, like that, or something like Cannon's Core from SA2.
Yeah. I think that they were, like, just rushing to finish up the ending of this game, because even compared to a lot of the other bosses in this game, other than rival battles, Perfect Chaos is, like, one of the easiest. It's easier than Chaos 6.
I didn't want to get into it until we actually started the fight, but I'll wait till the fight properly starts.
Knuckles fucking carrying, finding over half of them.
Well, this is the one game. This is like one of the only games that acknowledges him as a treasure hunter, so you might as well.
Well, no, he didn't really start being referred to in the plot as a treasure hunter until SA2. His
OVA standards, I don't know.
Which, it's such a, like, the treasure hunting thing for Knuckles is such a fucking, like, backwards thing that they implemented to his character, because it's, like, so contradictory to his role as the guardian of a Master Emerald on the fucking floating island that he never leaves. But, you know, they just started doing whatever with Knuckles at some point, so, you know.
God, I miss the Adventure Supersonic design.
Yeah, when he's just got the shadow spikes. I guarantee they changed it just so he didn't look exactly like Shadow.
Yeah, but, like, in SA2, he looks so glorious.
He does. And fun fact about his model in Supersonic's model in SA2.
Oh, also the Sonic Advance games. The Sonic Advance games has, like, my favorite Supersonic sprite.
Yeah, the Sonic Advance games, he looks fucking stellar. Because, like, we don't really get any Yuji Uekawa styled Supersonic art, like, hardly ever.
Yeah.
So it's like that game is pretty much full of that.
Yeah.
But
So, anyways, Chaos Fight. Barring Sonic Frontiers for obvious reasons, this is easily my favorite Supersonic segment in 3D.
It's the most unique.
To me, this is the best representative of what I would want Supersonic to be. I very much dislike SA2. Heroes, it's okay. I like it more than SA2. I guess there's Shadow. Shadows is pretty cool, but, that's Super Shadow. It'll call it its own category. Unleashed, I'd want to give more credit to, but it does feel a little finicky, and the quick time event sections at the end really hamper it. Anyways, I hope you liked Open Your Heart. It's gone now.
Yeah, why did they... I mean, I know it doesn't matter because this next phase goes by just as fast. But
you mean it doesn't matter?
Shut the fuck up. But why did they do... I'm convinced they mixed up the order on these songs. Like...
I don't know, but they were pig-headed on it. They kept it for gens.
Yeah.
Which is why whenever you play gens, you put in Open Your Heart, the original version, because it's better, and it'll play for the whole stage.
Yeah, the Open Your Heart remix in that game is not good. But then you gotta think, Jun Sonoy was the sound director for both this and Generations, so maybe it was intentional.
I'm assuming it was.
I don't like it. I would much prefer it just being Open Your Heart for the entire time.
Yeah, especially because Open Your Heart plays during the transformation, and I think it would have been a lot better to cut to this song.
Yeah.
Because I like this song. This is some cool boss music. But maybe this was going to... Maybe originally if they planned on having an emerald collecting stage, this would have been the music for it.
That would have made sense.
And they just needed to stick it somewhere.
But this is also like kind of an orchestrated version, not orchestrated all the way, but it's kind of
I messed up.
It's kind of a remix of Chaos's basic boss theme.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would have been true. Maybe if it was like, if they were like more ambitious with it, and it was like supposed to be a stage where Chaos is like actively fucking with you, or something.
Well, maybe that's where the idea for the perfect Chaos stage in Generations came from. Because he does do that there. So perhaps that was based on some of the ideas, but adapted for boost gameplay.
Dude, just jump and hold forward. That's all you have to do.
I'm trying to hit the speed boost.
You don't need the speed boost. If you jump and hold forward, Sonic gets up the speed on his own.
Whatever, I got the speed boost. He's dead.
Hey, and you got the like weird skip where it hits the tornado, but you got in the scripting anyway, so he just goes straight to the brain. Hey, I'll play with you some other time. But yeah, fun fact about Supersonic's model in SA2. They literally just copy-pasted Shadow's head and painted it gold. For Supersonic, and if you look at Supersonic and every other interpretation of him, he has his eyes don't look exactly like Shadow's eyes. So it's just...
Well, you see, this does fit pretty well with the idea that Shadow was based on the mural in Sonic 3.
Yeah, but I still prefer when...
Because Sonic, or Shadow just looks like Supersonic.
Yeah, I still prefer, though, when... Shadow has like or Sonic and Shadow have their own unique attributes from each other, because obviously
it's cool,
similar, but
but the Supersonic form, especially as a sprite in Sonic Advance, as well as also Sonic after the sequel, uses that as its sprite. It looks so clean. And X by default, because X uses this design. One of the things I do like about X.
Yeah. Yeah, X's Supersonic design is probably like my favorite. In general, I think Sonic X Sonic is one of my favorite looking Sonics. At least when it's drawn well.
Thank you for the preface.
Because I'm just talking about the actual character design itself, not necessarily the animation, because it's like sometimes Sonic X looks really good, sometimes it looks like shit. So, you know. And that's just like the Sonic series itself. So yeah, so those two have ascended to heaven now. They should never come back.
Blaze will join them in 06.
Yes. They just have like tea and crumpets up there together. There's probably, you know what? They're probably in wherever that the Hero Chow Garden is.
Sonic's neck. Okay, no, it doesn't look like they have necks. It looks because they're the same color as their bodies. So, like in a couple of those shots, it just looked like their heads are floating.
Well, no,
or their mouths are floating and not connected.
They literally don't have necks, though. It's just their fucking round ass head on their round ass body, so that's why. Oh man, I'm sad it's over. I love this game.
That was certainly a game.
Benny, I fucking love this game so much. I don't care.
Yeah, we ragged on it a lot. It's fun though.
It's like, it's so broken. I don't give a fuck. It's fun. It's cool. Sonic is awesome. I like playing as other Sonic characters. It's a really good, I think, first 3D Sonic game. You know, not saying that as in you should play this first. I'm saying this is a good like transition for Sonic into 3D in general. You know.
But you see, Sonic had a rough transition to 3D.
You know, that fucking phrase always used to mean because they never got fucking a 3D Sonic game on the Saturn and they were just doing weird experiments like fucking 3D Blast and Sonic R. And then they finally got it right with Sonic Adventure. That was the original narrative behind that phrase, but now it's just been construed into, oh, Sonic just sucked in 3D at the start. And he didn't quite get there till Colors, which is fucking
I'm glad
bullshit.
I can trigger you so hard with that one phrase.
It's fucking bullshit. I hate people.
I'm gonna bring this up every time we finish a Sonic game now.
Hey, look, it's Eiichiro Toyoda. He's like Shigeru Maekawa's prodigy. And he's the current Japanese localizer for the Sonic games. Well, he didn't do it for Frontiers, but he's doing it for Shadow Generations. And he's been writing a bunch of like little comics and stuff for the series, for the like Sonic Channel, Japanese Sonic Channel thing.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good. They're good little Sonic stories. He has one with Shadow on the Ark with Maria and stuff. He has one with Sonic, just kind of doing Sonic things, and you know, I think he really gets the characters, and I'm fucking upset that he's never got a chance to actually fully write a game on his own, because he's just been localizing like the English writers' stuff since Colors.
Yeah, it's weird how much they're shifting things over to the English side. Except for primary game development. Like, if you want to make the transition, just make the transition.
Well,
and just, like, let the West make a full Sonic game, because, like, we're the ones who buy it.
Yeah,
Japan don't.
But at the same time, like, the English writers for Sonic haven't done a great job so far, in my opinion.
No, because I think they're stuck between two. This was one of the things that hurts the series. You got something clearly the game was going for on the JP side, with a story that almost never matches. And at least if you had everything on, you know, one side of the world, hopefully you could have things a little more coherent.
Yeah, but I just... this is just something, I don't think the English writers for Sonic, even Ian Flynn, I don't think any of them get that, you know, Sonic stories up all the way through Black Knight all had some kind of a theme to them, and a message and some kind of like lesson learned for one of the characters. That doesn't happen. That hasn't happened since like Colors. I mean, we kind of had something trying to happen with Sage, but they didn't really get that across, and then all the other characters are just written in such a way that they're like becoming the the characters that they already were,
mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Superstars has it. Superstars, Trip learns to like stand up for herself and not be so anxious all the time and whatever. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's too bare bones for me to want to count it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the classic Sonic games, because like the classic Sonic games did have stuff like that. But you wouldn't really get it unless you read the manuals or whatever. So at least Superstars does have it included in the actual cutscenes of the game. It's just not something that most people are going to care about just because it's classic Sonic styled cutscenes. But I don't know. I don't really get why it's so hard for them to be like, just have a theme that they roll with and then make it tie into the plot somehow. Like I don't know why it's so hard for them to do that. But
because everybody hates cutscenes, so the game has to start immediately.
Well,
and Sonic's character is a laughingstock on the internet.
This is why, since after Sonic Adventure, they've allowed people to skip the cutscenes.